How's it going?
Oh, thank you. I can picture. I appreciate that. Thank you. I found them on FightHype. Yeah. Nice opening. Thank you.
Someone there to share with us.
I saw you on Twitter.
Don't forget for that to get in the other one.
I guess I was on the chat.
I need to find out whose camera is. I'll find out. Go sit you got to go lockdown.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Go back there. I'm ready to go.
Not really. They're like so well. The one that I
Mic check. All right, guys, we're going to try to start in about 5 or 10 minutes. Slight delay here. Thanks, everybody, for coming now. And we'll get started shortly, so stay tuned. Keep eating. Coffee. Enjoy. Thanks.
Mr. Perfect.
So I got the full ensemble of it. And I got a clip. I sent it all, it's funny. It's fun. No, he has the new paper on with the mask. So then he looked at me directly like, you. You. And I was pissed off. I'm in the arcade, yeah. Like on the corner. Nah. Well, I think that's like a small segment of it. But I was there. Like, I was there the whole time. You always saying you
It's the problem button.
Recording in progress.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to do anything else. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's working. Yeah. This AC with free breakfast. I'll take that.
Yeah, I agree.
No sé, pero nos van a llevar por la... Ahí está la lista. A ver, ahorita nos vamos. Ay, no, sí.
Were you there? In what was it, Atlanta? No. Cleveland, right? It was in Cleveland. And the guy, he's like 50. He's like 50, right? And he comes out and he's just like he's just got into the pool. I'm like, dude, that's literally a workout. I wanted to tell him, I watch person track the calories and all that. But I want to know how much he must be in there. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Was he wearing like a all black suit? Yeah. It was the funniest thing because Cleveland, he puts it off and you can just see like, that's the Mike Tyson snatch.
Oh, I should have took the camera over there and did it live, huh?
I'm gonna chill. I'm just, you know what I mean? I like to be in the back.
7, 6, 5.
And it's already afternoon. No, it's still morning. I already forgot. We're in Vegas. Does anybody know what time really is? I don't know. Morning. Yeah, somewhere around there this morning. Hello, everybody. Did everybody have a good breakfast? Yes? Wow, that sounds very exciting. Hey! Are we excited?
Yeah.
So are we excited about December 18th?
Yeah.
Yes. Man, we need more coffee. Thank you. Yes, more excitement here. Yes. So we're going to my home state, Florida, one of the prettiest cities, Tampa. And we're going to have a great fight. One that we've been waiting for a while. Tommy Fury is going to show us what he's really made of. Hello, Mr. Banks. Don't be ashamed. It's so good. Your family. It's good. Absolutely. And we're going to have our outstanding Jake Paul show us what he's all about against a real fighter, somebody with very deep roots in the sport. Obviously, the younger brother of the outstanding heavyweight champion, Tyson Fury. Any excitement here? Hello? Yes, this is going to be December 18th, and it's going to take place at Amalia Arena, and it's going to be presented by Showtime Sports, Holden Productions, and Most Valuable Promotions. Did y'all get a chance to see Problem Bot? He disappears. That guy just kind of shows up and disappears. I hope he gets a chance to come in and make an appearance. Just to give you a couple of snippets about this fight, Jake Paul is going to be facing 22-year-old Tommy Fury. And like I said, Tommy, the younger brother of Tyson Fury, I'm a huge fan. And when you have a 4-0 record with 3 KOs, you wonder, how in the world are you going to face somebody with such deep roots? And to get a little bit more on that information, we're going to be talking to the stars of the event. But right now, I am in awe because, again, we're among boxing royalty. The nephew of the great Emmanuel Stewart, great boxer, great trainer, Mr. Sugar Hill is with us. Sugar, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
And I have to say, you look quite dapper today. Always do, though.
It's Vegas.
I know. You haven't said anything about my hair. What's up with that?
Because it's always nice.
Thank you. Thank you. So, the question begs, how did you come about being part of the Fury team?
I guess pretty much simple. It's Tyson Fury, but that's his younger brother, and I've been around him, all the family, and in the gym training with the family, and obviously I've been in the gym with Tommy as well, watching him and Tyson box and just helping out, just teaching a few things, and I guess just recently it just came about that having me train him for this big fight coming up here.
There's a lot of credibility in your family, long line of champions being built in Detroit, and honed, extraordinary talent. What can you tell us about Tommy? What do you bring to the table for somebody like Tommy?
Well, Tommy's athletic, and he's been around boxing his whole life. Not actually boxing, but being around it, seeing it, and wanting to do it. But for whatever reasons, he didn't stay in boxing as much as Tyson did. And he's very athletic, very determined, and he learns fast. So it's exciting for me to be able to work with somebody like that, because that's what makes me get up and go a lot more, for somebody who really wants to learn and is excited about it.
We all know that Tommy has, like you said, a great background in sports, very athletic, but he's now an influencer. He's a star, very famous. He's actually a star in the UK in one of those reality shows. So, at 22, life could take a completely different direction. How serious is he about the sport?
I believe Tommy's very serious about the sport. We joke around a little bit, but he always gets a little bit upset when you talk about it, about him, his other career moves that he's involved in, and he does really want to box. I mean, he's taking this fight here, and he's taking it very seriously. And it's in his blood. It's boxing. It's also in his culture too. So the whole family boxes. Me spending time over in England with Tyson and his family, the first thing they do with the kids is they want to say, "Can he fight?" That's the first thing they want to know. So that's just a part of their culture, and it's in his blood as well.
So can you really blame a guy who's good looking, coming from a family with deep roots in the sport, good, and a star, influencer? Reality TV has made huge stars. He can't really be upset about that, really. I wish I was a reality show star. Anyway, when we look in the future, does Tommy have what it takes to be a real contender?
I just believe time will tell. He's just starting to learn some new things in boxing. It's a lot different than watching on TV and watching your big brother. So it's just a learning process, and just time will tell. can't really say it right now. If I had those kind of powers, then
Well, you know what they say, if my aunt had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. That's not happening either. But I'm pretty sure you're very good at what you do. I know so. So let's not complain about that. I'm very happy you're here, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen December 18th. And right now we're going to open the floor for the press to make questions, to ask questions. We have a mic going on. Lance?
oh, great. No questions. Thank you.
Sugar Hill, this is Lance Puckmeyer from USA Today. Just wanted to have you elaborate on something you told me previously. Tommy's body of work is not very complete. You actually described him as a little bit above a novice. What do you need to work on specifically to drive him to the level where he can defeat Jake Paul?
From what I see, I just need to work on Tommy's footwork and a little bit of his coordination, just getting him more familiar with certain moves that you do in boxing is going to make him, compete at a higher level than what he's been competing at. I didn't tell much, did I?
Come on, Sugar.
Sugar Hill, Keith Heidick from BoxingScene.com. What did you think of Tommy's performance against Anthony Taylor? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it?
Was his last performance? That was his last performance?
Yes.
I did. Actually, honestly, I didn't watch it. I didn't. But from what I heard, it wasn't. I heard it wasn't a good look. But I guess that's from the family, so they're maybe overcritical about it, but probably right.
Follow-up question. How much do you think it motivates him because he has so much pressure on him from his family, within his family?
I think it is a certain amount of pressure, and that's just something that comes with it. Being the younger brother of the heavyweight champion of the world and always looking up to Tyson and wanting to be like him and do the things that he's done. It's always just been a pressure period, but now I know it's a bit more because this is a big stage now. This is not just in the gym sparring somebody, being an amateur, having fights, and even turning pro. Each time, the longer he's in boxing, each step is just going to have more and more. It's more of a challenge for him. So that's what anybody sort of say.
Sugar Hill, right here. Steven Coreno, Heart of Sports. What do you think about this extra bet going on that they have that Tommy has to change his name to Tommy Fumbles? It fumbles if he wins, if he loses, and vice versa, he gets $500,000 if he wins. What do you think about that?
From what you're telling me, it sounds a little bit personal, and it sounds like business. He said he got to change his name, and the other part of the bet is some money. So, yeah, it's just personal. It's just something they got going on. If that's what they want to do, it's interesting. It's just like if you had two guys in the street on the same block, making a bet. It's just a bet. Fair play.
Javon, over here. Jeremy Herges with Fansided.com.
It's Sugar Hill because you're not going to say it right, so it's just Sugar is easier.
Gotcha. When you're dealing with a fighter with potential, what are the things that you're looking at specifically when you see him, and how do you go about unlocking that potential? And is it that much harder when you're dealing with someone that's starting from a base level?
Well, I've trained a lot of fighters from the base level from scratch, so it's not anything that's unfamiliar to me. Mainly what I do is I watch them shadow box and just start making adjustments. I need to know what they're thinking when they're in their shadow boxing, and that tells me a lot on what I need to work on with the fighters. And with me, everything I do is basics anyway, so I'm going to start to correct and fix the fundamentals, so then you'll be able to achieve and excel in the things that the fighter wants to do, what is in his mind and what he wants to create.
Sugar Hill, Mohammed Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. Tell us what more can you give to Tommy to add to his development? And where is he at right now? In your opinion, where is he at in his development?
Well, I think Tommy's at the development stage right now, just the beginning to start to understand and be really involved and focused in boxing. And right now, I'm happy with that. And I think it's going to be a fast progress for Tommy because some of the things I've showed him, how how he grabbed hold to him so quickly and is able to do him. It reminds me a bit of Tyson. It's just that Tyson's been boxing his whole life in the ring and in the gym, and Tommy hasn't. So it's going to be interesting just to watch how fast he's going to really grow. And like I said, it's exciting to me because I just enjoy teaching and watching somebody learn and go out there and do it and be happy about it.
Hi, Sugar Hill, right here, Giandra LaBeouf, Boxing Insider. To follow up on what you just said, since the Furies are a fighting family, you just mentioned that he just hasn't fought his whole life like his brother. Is there a signature thing that the Fury family does in fighting, and does Tommy have that?
It's not a signature thing, it's just fighting, so that would be the signature. Everybody in the family fights.
And secondly, you've seen a lot of styles throughout your career. How would you categorize Jake Paul's style? What would you liken it most to from what you've seen of his fighting?
I was just watching on the screen here, and I was talking to one of my other young fighters, Nico Ali Walsh, and I was asking him what did he see in the fight. And it's just a lot. Jake is very creative in the ring. I'm watching him, so I hear bad talk about him, but I have to give him a lot of credit for what he's doing and how he's learning. He doesn't look like a beginner like everybody's talking about, like a very, very beginner, because of the things that he's doing as far as thinking and making adjustments and creating opportunities to land punches. And I think he's coming along just fine, just as well as anybody who's just starting boxing.
Thank you, Giandra. It's always so good to see you. And I know Tommy was supposed to be with us today, so it's not like we came empty-handed. Unfortunately, he had a family emergency. He's actually flying back to the UK as we speak, so we hope everything is working out well. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have him soon via satellite, Zoom, technology. Thank you, Chris de Blasio. We will have him, we promise. Not today, soon. So I just have one question. I know you're very strict. You always, put us at bay. Media is always at bay in your camp. How are you going to control the media attention that somebody like Tommy will bring to any boxing camp?
Well, in the gym, we're just training, so it's no windows, and that's it. Close the door, start training. We have media days and things like that, things that we have to do, but me, I'm not too particular about videoing and posting things like that. I don't think it's that important. I don't really care if they do it, but as long as they focused on training. And that's just the main part, what they do outside of the gym, as far as during their downtime on social media. It's all a business at this point, really. So I don't really complain about it. I don't do it, but I know it's a new thing that's out, and you have to be able to take it and use it to be able to grow. And I think with this fight here, the way things have gone, and it's bringing a lot of attention to boxing. And that's with the social media and how this thing has just grown to such a big event now, and it's just good for boxing. Period. I only see boxing growing because of this. I think that you have these two fighters, like novice fighters, fighting on a pay-per-view like a big card. This is big boxing right here. That you have these two like beginning guys fighting on, and I think it's just great. Everybody's a lot of people probably gonna disagree with me on that, but I do think it's great. You get people, if you're in a neighborhood and they're out there fighting, they're gonna gather around and watch it. It doesn't matter how much experience they really have. People just want to see a good fight.
I agree. Coach, always a pleasure. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you December 18th in Tampa.
Thank you. Glad I was here, and this is gonna be a big event.
Yes, we hope so. So,
I keep the mic with me.
This is an outstanding event, and I'm so excited. I feel like constrained here in the seat, but who doesn't know Jake Paul? Really? Really? Oh, come on. You guys have no clue who he is. Of course. The one thing we don't know about him, or most people don't know about him, is that he has a huge heart. Jake has done outstanding work with the community, with kids, working against bullying. I think he's one of the few promoters that actually split promoter-fighter, that takes away from his own purse to split it among the fighters in his undercard. And I think that's very, very heartfelt. And I am so proud to present to you Mr. Jake Paul. Look at you. Wait. Hello? Coach? Wait. Okay, so I'm all for surprises. Where's my man BJ Flores, man?
Oh, BJ's here.
Where's BJ?
BJ's right here.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
Yeah. You know.
How you doing? And Coach D.
Coach D.
Are you handing the baton? What's up with that? What?
We're building the dream team, you know? And we had to bring in a secret weapon.
Okay. This opens a whole kind of worms. Completely different kind of worms. Well, it's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It's good to be here in Vegas. Shout out to the people watching at home. Another one. Here we go.
We're going to talk a little bit about Coach D. I need to know how and when and why.
Well, I take it from here, Jake.
Ooh.
I've been doing this for about 40 years.
But you're all of 25.
Well, you know, things happen. I've been through a lot. You know, I was around during Tyson time. You know, I saw something in the white boy. I made sure I made it happen. So we here.
There you go. So when did you decide to touch base with Coach D?
You know, after the Woodley fight, I came out, I reassessed my performance, and I was like, you know what, I did great. I beat a 5-time UFC champion. I took his hardest punch that he won the UFC championship with like it was nothing. I was off balance. You know, it's boxing. You're gonna get dirty if you're a mechanic. But I was like, you know, there's some things we can tighten up. And that's where, you know, started making some calls, and that's where Coach D came in. And, you know, it's been a game changer.
So Coach D is actually an advisor to BJ.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I came in for nourishment, and you know, he wasn't making weight, so I made sure he made weight. We came in. I continued to tell him. I said, "Come with that right jab, under that belt." He listened. He's a good boy. Like I said, you know, apple don't fall too far from the tree. I talked to his papa. His papa's a good guy. Yeah, we just working.
Well, I look forward to see you performing December 18th.
And look, I mean, Tommy went and got Sugar Hill. You know, Tommy went and you know, getting Tyson to be in his corner. So, what am I gonna do? I have a response to that. You know, this is a serious business. Life is on the line.
Okay, so now I'm going to change gears now that you said life is on the line. Many times you've said boxing saved your life. How did the sport save your life?
Man, I was a young kid in Los Angeles, just getting caught up in the wrong things, surrounded by the wrong group of people, and boxing gave me the chance to take my life back and to follow a routine and to work on something and to have a purpose, and it gave me something to fight for. I wasn't meant for LA, although I thought I was. Boxing is my true home, and it took me until I was 21 years old to find that. You know, but some of the greatest fighters don't find out they're fighters until they're a little bit older. Deontay Wilder, the list goes on.
Before we go any further, I need to just acknowledge the presence of Problem Bot right there. Thank you, Problem Bot. Yeah. Is that your security?
Yeah, he's got an RPG.
You know, a lot of people talk about what you do outside the ring. Obviously, you've been an influencer all your life, even before influencers were, you know, famous and the thing to do and trending. But there's a lot more to you. I just gave a little bit of snippets of what you do for the community. First of all, talk to us about that commitment against bullying and children, just in general.
Yeah, look, I want to use my platform for good. Ever since I was young, you know, my dad, who's here today, shout out Greg Paul, we would always go and give back, volunteering, handing out food on Thanksgiving, whatever it was, we always wanted to get involved in the community. And I had a dream as a kid to have a foundation, have a charity, and now I'm, you know, finally at a place where I felt like I was able to give back and to use my platform to give back. And that's why I'm passionate about Boxing Bullies, my foundation, and fighting back against bullying, because I once was a bully and I realized it wasn't cool. And then I got cyberbullied by my peers and friends when I started to post videos online. And I was like, wow, these comments hurt. And I realized this is a big problem in our generation. And cyberbullying affects so many people. And I think boxing gives people confidence, you know, to not have to feel like they need to pull other people's down or to just be themselves. And that's what it did for me. And so I want to be able to share boxing and this message just with the whole entire world. And I think everyone should take up the sport, even just for fitness, confidence, and being able to protect yourself.
Mental health, key. Thank you for that. But talking about the sport itself, I get a chance to speak to fighters all the time, and the one thing they always say is boxing is a very jealous wife. It doesn't like to share their talent, doesn't like to share their men. You spread yourself out so thin that I wonder, how deep is your commitment to the sport itself?
I'll take this one.
Thank you, Coach.
I'll probably say, you know, this kid right here, we've been coaching him. He been a smart kid. He a good boy. Like I said, he can fight. At the end of the day, if it ain't about fighting, it ain't about a motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I brought him in. He gonna fight. Well, we tried to get your brother, didn't we?
Yep.
We tried to get his brother.
Yep.
His brother was running.
Yep.
I talked to Tyson. Tyson was running. I talked to Sugar Ray Leonard. He was running. So now, you know, we trying to find people where we can fight and have a good, decent fight where we got in front of us. You know what I'm saying? So
It's a lot of work, though. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work,
The
but that's why I
YouTube
have the
channel.
best team. That's why I have the best team, you know? I'm surrounded. It's not just me. Jake Paul is not a one-man operation. I've brought in the best. I have the best filmers, the best security, the best managers, advisors, business partners, investors, editors, you name it, mascots. So it's not just me, and we can get the job done. Clearly, the formula is working. So
Yes,
that's why we're here.
Yes,
we'll
it
run
is.
y'all through a drill as well. If we could do it now, that'd be fine. We can run through the drill that we do.
You're gonna run through the drill right now?
Go ahead.
Cameras on, please. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Excellent drill. You know, the interesting thing is we have Tommy Fury and yourself that came to the spot today for that fight on December 18th. And it's almost like the yin and the yang. He comes from a boxing background and became an influencer, you know, reality show star in the UK, and you came the other way around, even though you have an athletic background when you played football, and then you became a huge star, and then you decided to take on boxing later in your life. How do you think that balances out? That's like a yin and yang.
Yeah, look, I mean, Tommy claims to have been doing this his whole life, and he has an amateur career, and he's been around it. That is true, but he hasn't worked as hard as me, you know? I see a green guy who hasn't sparred enough times and has only been put in there with opponents that were meant to lose. This is his first real test where his opponent isn't some guy that's just gonna flop over. And, you know, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see a fighter who is a virgin, in my opinion. He has no idea what he's getting himself into. This is his first time under the big lights on the big stage, and he's gonna crack under pressure.
The one thing that I see is your eye to pick people around you. You know, picking your opponents, picking your coaches. You also pick somebody that I love, and I am a diehard fan. She is the epitome of badass bitch. Amanda Serrano. She is perhaps the only, thank you, Problem Bod. Her record alone speaks for the quality of fighter that she is. But as a human being, she's also a very giving woman. What made you look at her and sign her?
Look, I mean, just the simple fact that she's the GOAT, greatest woman of all time. There's no debating that, you know, and I like to work with people that are cool. And Amanda and I, you know, clicked from day one, and she, needs to be put onto a bigger platform, and that's where Most Valuable Promotions, Nikisa, and myself come in, because she's a star, like you said. She's got the record, she's got all the accolades, but it's the constant. You hear the boxing story all the time about the best fighter in the world who is underpaid or isn't as big of a star as they should be, and so that's what I've figured out. That's the formula that I've developed, is the marketing, the content, the branding, the entertainment side, and that's what we hope to be able to give to Amanda Serrano and other boxers alike. We want to elevate this sport as much as possible, bring more eyeballs, bring more attention to the best, and that's exactly what Amanda Serrano is, and we're all just ecstatic to be working together because the potential is huge. We're already eyeing in 2022 the biggest women's boxing match of all time, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor.
Wow.
Working with Eddie Hearn to get that done. So,
We've been waiting for the fight for a while.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
But it needed that extra juice.
Yes, it does, and you gave it to her. As a matter of fact, she's going to be in this event. An opponent to be determined. We're going to be announcing that very soon. But I'm very happy that she's getting the recognition that she deserves. She's amazing. And I just, there's a very short sentence that I use. She's a bitch, she's a boss, and she shines like gloss.
I love it. I love
it. So I'm very excited about that. And now we're going to open the floor for questions from the press.
Jake, Keith Heidig from BoxingScene.com. How you doing? I was just wondering if you can compare the type of challenge that you expect from Tommy Fury as opposed to what Tyron Woodley presented for you.
Yeah, I think it's two very different style of fighters. I think Tyron just has so much experience. He's been in there with the hardest hitters, as the best in the world. And so he's had that experience, and he knew how to counter and take away some of my best things in the ring, and how to take a punch. Tommy Fury hasn't been tested, so we will see how he responds, and I think that's the beautiful thing about this fight, is the unknown. Is he actually a Fury? Or will we find out that he's just a half Fury? Does he have the heart like his brother? Or is he just living in the shadow of his brother? I think the beautiful thing about this fight is stepping into the unknown, because this is also my first time fighting a real boxer, quote unquote, whatever that means. And he's undefeated, he's young, same age, same height, same weight. So it's really a perfect matchup, and we're just gonna see who worked harder, who wants it more, and who has that dog inside of him.
Jay, Ellie Segbeck, ES News. Quick question. So you have a bet going on with him about changing the name, and what's your prediction for the fight? What round does it end?
I will TKO him in the later rounds. Tommy hasn't gone past 4 rounds. He hasn't even had a fight past 4 rounds. So I think he'll be gassed. This will be the first time him actually getting punched in the face by someone who could hit, who is the same weight as him. He's always fought smaller guys with losing records. So I think he's going to fade. I know he's going to fade. It just, what round? 5th, 6th, maybe 7th. Maybe I knock him out the last 10 seconds of the 8th. But he's not hearing that 8th bell ring.
Jake?
I got $500K on the line. So, when Tommy loses, he has to change his name to Tommy Fumbles. And, he accepted it. I'm putting $500K. It's on the line. So we'll see what happens.
Jake, Mike Coppinger, ESPN, right here. Look, one of the biggest issues in boxing right now is that a lot of the top names aren't very active. But yet you're here with your 3rd pay-per-view fight of 2021. Why do you think it is that you're able to get all these fights in, and a lot of the other guys, obviously you have less fights, but you're still fighting pay-per-view fights and all the media obligations that go with it. Why do you think the other guys aren't fighting as often?
Like you said, it's one of the biggest problems in boxing is promoters not wanting to risk their big fighters losing, because that's their paychecks, that's how they make their revenue, and so it's too big of a risk for them. But me, we're a big team, but a nimble team. We move fast, we make decisions, and I'm not scared of anybody. People are saying, fight this person, fight that person, fight this person. I'm doing these fights literally as fast as we can get the deals done. And I think a lot of these pro boxers, from what I'm sort of finding out, is they don't work actually that hard, and they're not really down to fight all the time whenever the call comes in. So I think that's the big difference. This is my fourth fight in 12 months. It's the third pay-per-view this year, but it's 4 fights in 12 months. So really the only person that's as active at this big of a platform is Canelo.
I have a question about that. I'm sorry.
I just want to address something, because I feel like everybody in there, at the end of the day, the white boy can fight, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like people try to underestimate it, you know. You know that. Yeah, he can fight, so.
I have a question about that. This is perhaps the biggest week in boxing in 2021. Canelo against another outstanding fighter, Caleb Plant. Your views on that fight? Who's going to take the win?
It's exciting. You know, in boxing now, rarely as a fan do we see these big fights where you get excited and you wake up on Saturday morning and you're like, man, I can't wait for tonight because I'm so excited for the fight. That's only happened maybe once or twice this year, you know, with the Fury Wilder fight, maybe Mayweather Logan, maybe a couple of Jake Paul fights, but this one's exciting.
History making.
It's great for and it's great for the sport. The unification of 168. Can Canelo do it? Can Caleb Plant do it?
Undefeated, another undefeated fighter in his record.
And this fight is exactly what boxing needs more of. You know, we want to see Canelo versus Benavidez. We want to see Plant versus Benavidez. We want to see these big fights. Why aren't they happening? Who? The promoters? Because I'm sure the fighters want the payday.
That's above my payday. So I wish I had the answer to that.
Jake, Marcus Hayes, FightHype TV. Thanks for taking my question. I'm wondering, you've come into boxing to sort of disrupt the landscape of the traditional boxing with having big fight after big fight after big fight and being a relatively new name. Talk to us about that. Is that what you planned, or is that just how things are shaking out?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a young fighter that still has a lot of things to prove, but with each fight, I'm elevating my level of opponent, and we just want to do it bigger and bigger and bigger. And you know, boxing is the snowball effect. When you keep on winning as a fighter, they just get bigger. The fights get bigger. Everything's more exciting. And so we've just taken this step by step. But yeah, this has been in the cards the whole way. You know, when I first said, like 2 years ago, hey, I want to fight Conor McGregor. I want to fight Nate Diaz. I want to fight... I was joking about fighting Mike Tyson. I was saying I want to fight Canelo.
I remember the list.
And by the way, yeah, the list.
I remember the list.
Javante, everyone's on the list. And people
it doesn't
were like,
matter
oh,
what
kid...
weight division.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. People were like, oh, this kid's crazy 2 years ago. And now, it's like, wow. We've gotten this far, this fast, and the world is my oyster. All I have to do is 3 letters, W-I-N. And why do you think I work so hard? Why do you think I've progressed a lot faster than a lot of these pros are? Because I'm having to rise up to the highest level of boxing with 18 months of experience, 20 months of experience. So I'm progressing a lot faster than a lot of these pro boxers. And it is what it is, because they don't have the pressure. They don't really have anything to lose. They lose, it's whatever. If I lose, the whole world's laughing. The whole world's like, yeah, we told this kid. Like, we got him. This was just a thing. He's not a real pro. Get him out of here. Finally, we got our sport back. A lot of boxing wants to see me lose. A lot of them want to see me win, but a lot of them want to see me lose. So I have a pressure, and that's created a diamond.
I have an answer to that comes from a very credible source. Marco Antonio Barrera, world champion in 3 different divisions, Hall of Famer. And we talked about you in this fight. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't know. A lot of fighters do support this because they're bringing a new generation of fans. How responsible do you feel bringing this new generation that don't remember the Julio Cesar Chavez, or they just know about Muhammad Ali because of the documentary?
Yeah, no, I'm fully responsible for all of it. I mean, who else would be? I'm not sure. You know, like I said, 4 fights in 12 months. I have 65, 70 million followers across my platforms. That's a younger demographic, and they're coming into the sport of boxing, and they're going to become fans of other people. There's room for everyone to grow. I can build my skyscraper as high as I want to without it touching your skyscraper, or his skyscraper, or anyone's skyscraper. We can all build our buildings as high as possible, and that's what I want to do, is just bring more eyeballs to the sport, and that's what I've done.
This question is for Coach D, straight back. Coach D, we just saw you come off the off season, one of the biggest tours of the year. Just this being one of the biggest fights of the year, just want to see what you feel you can contribute and bring to this event.
What the hell he said?
We just saw you come off the off season, right? One of the biggest tours of the year, and just want to see this being one of the biggest fights of the year. What you feel? We saw what you contributed to the tour. What can you contribute to this fight?
Well, at the end of the day, we took him through training. He whooped his security ass. Hell, he whooped my ass in training. You know, the next thing for him, I don't see nobody fucking with baby boy right here but God.
One more question.
Question for Jake. Jake, one person that is, hey, right here. One person that's always talked, you've had back and forth with is Dana White. And Dana White has asked, when are you going to fight somebody your age, and when are you going to fight somebody that's a boxer? You're doing that now. So do you have a message for him?
Dana, again, thank you, wherever you are. Thank you for promoting my fights. You literally tee up every single fight for me perfectly. You place bets against me. I prove you wrong. You try to bring in coaches for my opponents so that they can beat me. You're letting Tommy Fury train at the UFC Performance Institute. Give it up, guy. Like, give it up. Fight a real boxer. When is he gonna fight a guy his own age? Whatever Dana White is constantly fucking saying, you know, I'm doing it. And he's mad that I'm doing it because he's a control freak. And when he doesn't have his fingers dipped into someone's business, he doesn't want to see them succeed, and he tries to bring them down. But he's not smart enough to realize that every single time he talks about me, it just makes my shit grow up.
Thank you, Jake. And before we close, I know you want to give us any final thoughts before we let all these beautiful people go back to a good morning on a Saturday?
Yeah, I actually got a poem. You know?
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're YouTuber, boxer, influencer, and writer.
I wrote this. You know, I'm upset that Tommy's not here. You know, I know he's taking care of his mother, and I respect that, you know, as a man, and I hope she's okay. I hope the family's gonna do well, but I got a little something for him. Roses are red, violets are blue. In his first obligation, Mr. Fury couldn't come through. No worries, only stress for a few. I'm used to promoting my fights alone. I just didn't think I'd have to do this one too. Carrying the marketing sales, oh Lord, what's new? And y'all wonder why the highest paid boxers are me and Canelo, top two. One girl whispers, there goes Tommy Fury and his pretty green eyes. Her friend replies, yes, it's true, but he prefers to kiss guys. Tommy Fury's friends let him skip leg day. Just look at those chicken thighs. December 18th, his home won't be the only thing burglarized. I'm stealing his family's boxing legacy, all because Tommy did too much ecstasy while Jake was in the gym sparring heavily. The best bet for Tommy is a Molly May pregnancy. Tommy, it's okay, you lost. You'll still be a great dad. But when she finds out about his side alley makeout in Brampton, she's gonna be a little mad. After all this, though, I will say Tommy has a lot of spirit. A lot of Spirit airline miles. Tommy is still saving up to be able to sit in the aisles. Roses are red, violets are blue. December 18th, Tommy Fury, you will be on the canvas, kissing my shoe.
Well said. Thank you for your time, Coach D. It's a pleasure meeting you. Can't wait to see you in the corner. BJ, I got your back. Maybe I get a chance to go in the ring. You be my coach. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Great shout out to Resorts World Las Vegas. Thank you for hosting us. And Showtime, people, we have a date, December 18th. Muchas gracias a todos.
Like that suit, Jim.
Thank you.
Coach D, I'm going. Cameras down. right, can we get BJ Flores? BJ, come on up for a photo, please. Steven Espinoza. Thank you. BJ, come on up. Terrific, guys. Hey, Steve, did you get Josh Taylor? You see Josh? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, thank you, everybody. We're going to ask Josh Taylor to come and do a picture. Yeah, we're going to break it to some Where's Josh Taylor? Home was great. Very big snatch on. Jacob here. Yeah. There we go. Save money. Make it good, Gus. Thank you. Get a keeper. Come on, Logan. Come on, Logan. Let's get a shot up here. Let's go. Logan takes photos. Oh, he takes photos? He's on duty. He's on duty. Do we get Josh Taylor or no? We do yeah, let's do the one-on-ones. All right, so we're going to do this. Should I just come down here? We'll have our press guys.
Can I get you together?
They're doing one-on-ones.
You and Mike Tyson, do you like it?
Jake, how you doing, man?
You good? Doing good, man.
Good.
It's beautiful. Beautiful day in Vegas. Feeling good.
We will make time.
Wish Tommy was here, but it's all good.
Hey, Jake, when you saw Anthony fight in Cincinnati, you weren't too sure you were going to fight him because you weren't impressed with the performance. What changed?
You know, Tommy still has the name. He still has the marketing. And I still believe he's going to try and put up a good fight. He's going to put in the work. And it's a massive fight. You know, he's riding the coattails of his brother's success and fame. And he's got his whole reality show shit. And his girlfriend is famous. So it's cool. It's going to be hype.
What do you think about Tommy's no-show today? Emergency.
It's a little weird, you know. I hope he's telling the truth because, like, that's bad karma. But who knows? I feel like sometimes when you get on this big stage, or maybe the reality of actually signing the contract and having to do this is setting in, and he could be spooked. Time will tell.
Jake, I come from you on the big stage like 4 times in a year.
Yeah.
You want to fake boxing, man?
No, literally. I mean, I'm chilling, bro. Like, this is what I love to do, and at this point, I don't know what else to do. Like, this is my life, and it's crazy, and it's fast-paced, and there's cameras everywhere all the time, but you know, I've been doing this since I was 16, 17 years old.
Jake, I want to give you a chance.
Dana didn't. No, I don't know who you respond. He definitely seen that. He's definitely seen that.
Jake, want to give you a chance, man, to respond to those rumors. Dillian Dennis talked about it. Clarissa Shields talked about it. There being like a no knockout clause in the Tyrone Woodley fight. Just want to give you a chance to clear the air on that.
It's look, it's a bunch of losers trying to make shit up to get into headlines and to get reporters like yourself to ask them about that exact question and put their name into the mix so that they can get a little bit of clout. You know, having a no knockout clause in a contract, I've never heard of that. And first of all, it's highly illegal. I would be in jail. You know, that's like rigging a fight. I would literally be in prison if that actually were a real thing. So it's all nonsense. It's all bullshit, and they got exactly what they wanted out of it, which is for people to mention their name.
Jake, who would take for you to get your feud with Dana?
Man, I think Jake Paul versus Dana White.
we gotta settle it in the ring or in Vegas. You know, I don't know where he's at, but at some point, we're gonna run into each other. It's just bound to happen, and we can settle it there. Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? Why not? You know, a couple years ago, if you asked me, yo, would you be the highest paid boxer in the world behind Canelo? I would say, man, that sounds crazy, but it's definitely possible. If you say, yo, will you get in the octagon? I'd say, yeah, that sounds crazy, but it's definitely possible. Say it again? Yeah, for sure. This year, 100%.
Jake, have you got Hasbulla coming in your corner with MVP?
Yeah, it's confirmed. Hasbulla is going to be in the corner helping with training camp. I had to bring in a lethal weapon. It's Hasbulla versus Tyson Fury. We will see who the better coach is.
Face off between Tyson and Hasbulla?
Yeah. We're going to need to get Hasbulla a stool. But it's going to be a good one.
Jake, any truth to the rumors about your brother and Mike Tyson? What can you tell us about it?
Any truth to the rumors about Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson?
We'll see.
Anything is possible.
Mike Tyson's too old, no?
He's
too old, no?
Yeah, he's a little old.
So what happens if I beat Mike Tyson? I beat up an old man? That's not cool.
It's not cool. But you kind of already did beat up an old man, Floyd Mayweather.
Mike Tyson's an older man.
He's still in shape. Jake, I saw him yesterday. He's strong as shit.
No, I know. He's very strong.
That's Uncle Mike, though.
Yeah,
That's low-key our uncle.
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
He's low-key our uncle, low-key. Why am I saying low-key so much? Say it again? Who's the name other than Tommy? Oh, shit. I mean, bro, there's a full list. Well, I mean, we'll see. It's back to the drawing board always.
Yeah.
Would I fight Mayweather? Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's good. I think that's bound to happen eventually.
His business with Tyron Woodley done. He got the tattoo. He said he wanted the rematch. Have you talked to him since all that?
I haven't spoke to him. You know, rumor is that the tattoo's not real. You know, there was never really anything that proved that it was real. It was just like a picture of his hand, and he did it like a month later after he was desperate. He was in my DMs asking me to take the fight. I'm like, yo, you should have got the tattoo the night of the fight. This lost momentum, and we've already moved on to Tommy. Sorry.
You don't think it ever happens again?
Nah. You know, I would like to. You know, if we fought again, I know I would do a lot better. I didn't perform my best that night. I had a hyperextended elbow. My legs were like feeling weird, feeling shaky. So if we fought again, I would finish him 100%. But it's most likely never gonna happen. Yeah, no, it's very real. It's very real. I think that fight happens in the next 48 months, 36 months for sure. It makes financial sense. I don't have a message for Conor. You know, at this point, he needs me more than I need him. He's a fucking loser. He's a drunk motherfucker running around with his bullshit, cheating on his wife, doing all this crazy shit. So, you know, the guy's a mess. You know, he hasn't won in 4 years or something. So, like I said, he needs me more than I need him. Say it again? What have I made of Tommy's career so far? I'll answer that question by saying I've made Tommy's career so far. No one knew or talked about this guy. No one even knew Tyson Fury had a little brother. Like, I was like, wait a second. Tyson Fury took a shit and he has a little brother that little popped out? Like, where did he come from? As soon as he started talking about me and calling me out and saying all this stuff, that's when Tommy Fury's Google searches started spiking. It's literally an actual numerical fact that as soon as Tommy started talking about me, his trending went 10 times more, his engagement went more. So I basically made his career, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyone who fights me becomes famous. Anyone who fights me gets a payday. They become rich. So that's just the level this has gotten to, and he hasn't done anything to impress me. That's why I don't have any respect for him. He's riding his brother's coattails. He's fought a bunch of losers, and December 18th, people are going to see him get exposed.
I'm gonna go toe to toe. Come at him and knock him out. You know, the guy can't take a punch. He don't got power. He don't got power. He fought my sparring partner, Anthony Taylor. Anthony was like, he's got soft hands. You know, Tommy has good combinations. He's got fast hands, but he doesn't have power. He can't fight coming backwards. He's rigid. He doesn't have head movement. So we're going to take away all the things that he does good and expose him. He doesn't have a chin. He's never been hit by someone his own size. He's fighting smaller guys who have barely won any fights.
Usman called you out, bro.
Yeah, Usman like started this whole thing on an interview somewhere where he was saying he wanted to fight me, and I was like, let's do it, let's run it, no problem. Get your boss Dana, get your dad, and see if your dad will let you out of your contract to fight me. Again, like I'm not scared of anybody. I will fight anybody. I am a better striker than 99.9% of the people in the UFC. Maybe some of the heavyweights could sit in there and spar with me, but that's about it. And people think I'm crazy, but look, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong, and they'll come back to this interview years later and say, damn, this kid knew what the fuck he was talking about.
You think Usman beats Colby again? You know, just curious, because I know
Yeah, I mean, I think Usman beats Colby. Usman's definitely dominant in the UFC right now, especially at 170. But people forget, you know, I'm 190. He's gonna come up and weight and fight someone his real own size. In a boxing match, I beat Kamaru Usman easy, no problem. No problem. No problem, bro.
That's it, guys. That's it. We're done.
Prediction for the Canelo fight. Man, I want Caleb to win. I'm rooting for Caleb. He's one of my favorite fighters. I think it's gonna be a decision, and it's really a swing fight for me. I think it's based on how the judges score it. I think, you know, the judges are gonna want to favor Canelo because he's Canelo. So Caleb's gonna have to go in there and really beat the champion. It's gonna be a close one.
You and Canelo are sharing Showtime. You've been planting the seeds for a while that you would like to fight with him. Have you guys ever had a conversation? Have you met each other?
I've never talked to Canelo, never met him. You know, he said on a couple of interviews that he would do it. He hasn't denied the idea, and I think it's a massive fight for sure. I see that in the cards in the near future. Right now I'm focusing December 18th on Tommy Fury, but I would love to fight Canelo, 100%.
That's it, guys. Come on, Jay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Jake, what do you think of a fight with Chavez Jr.?
Oh, yeah.
I'm on stage.
Right, guys, right to the middle. Yeah, there you go. Where's my girl? Amanda. Here we go.
Josh, how's your knee doing, Josh?
Josh, how's your knee feeling?
Yeah, it's okay. It's going there. It's getting better. Get the scans and stuff next week to see how it's going. But yeah, it's getting there.
We got you coming back on, it looks like February the 26th.
Good job there.
We're going to jump on down here. We got you coming back, looks like on the 26th here of February. Talk to us about your upcoming fight against Catterall. What do you think about it? How do you match up against him?
Yeah, it's a good fight. You know, Jack Catterall's is a class opponent. He's a class operator. You know, he's beat everybody that's been put in front of him. He's southpaw. He can punch a bit. He knows his way around the ring. You know, he's kind of flown under the radar a little bit. But he is a good fighter. But you know, this is where he's going to taste his first defeat. He's not fought anybody like myself. He's not been anywhere near the level of opposition that I've been in with. So I think he'll come apart in the end in the fight. But I'm expecting a tough fight, you know. But ultimately, it's one that I'm fully expecting to win.
You are the man, it seems like, of the year, the king of 140.
Yeah.
Everybody's got your name on their lips, potentially wanting to fight you. From Teofimo Lopez, you've been mentioned with Tank Davis, you've been mentioned with a lot of different guys.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to finally be getting your due coming from Scotland?
Yeah, well, hard work's paid off. You know, it's been a lot of dedication, sacrifice, hard work. So it's paid off over the years. You know, and I'd be doing the same if I was in a position challenging for wanting to challenge for titles. You know, everybody wants the belts and everybody wants the titles. So now I've got the massive bullseye and the massive target on my back. You know, so everybody wants to fight me. So yeah, the hard work's only just beginning, because I've got to keep these titles and I've got to keep these belts and keep winning and keep getting bigger and better and move on to bigger fights. So the hard work's just beginning, really.
And you talk about bigger fights. What's something that you're looking forward to here after your fight against Catterall? We know that you can't look past him, but I know naturally there's kind of a thought process behind your career.
There is big fights out there for me now. They're all massive fights for me now. Here on in, you know, obviously I've did everything at 140. I've did everything I can achieve at 140 and becoming undisputed. So nothing left to prove or achieve. And so now I want to set new goals. I want to become a 2-weight world champion. You know, I would like to sort of move up in weight class and challenge for a world title up at welterweight as well. So that's goals and ambitions of mine now as well.
Is that something that's coming up maybe in 2022? We see Josh Taylor throw his hat into the official welterweight 147 division.
Possibly, maybe not. I might stay at 140, but we'll see what fights come my way after. First of all, we need to see how February 26 goes. You know, if it goes my way, which I believe it will, we'll see what fight comes my way next. There's nothing but big fights out there for me now, but I would like to move up to 147 eventually and get a second weight world title into my name.
Just having 4 fights this year, they have a lot of critiques about the sport. You needed some of the fighters, some of that balance up there. What do you think, Josh?
What was that?
He said for just having 4 fights, he sure had a lot of critiques about the sport and the fighters even in it. Jake Paul. Some of the balance.
Well, you know, he's not been boxing very long. You can still see he's relatively inexperienced, but for anybody that's boxed the amount of time that he's had, he's doing well, you know. So you've got to respect him. You've got to respect him that way. He's improved a lot, you know. But you can still see he's a novice, but you know he's still doing well.
How would, in the future, would you be interested? We've heard you mention Terrence Crawford's name. It would be a huge fight. The last 2 undisputeds at 140, tangling. If you get a matchup at 147, how do you see that fight going?
It's a great fight. It's a terrific fight. You know, Terrence Crawford is an all-time great going to go down as. You know, he's brilliant. You know, he can do it all. He can fight southpaw, orthodox, go front foot, back foot, fight inside. He can do the lot, a bit like myself. I can do the lot as well. So I think with me being the undisputed at 140 as well, he was the last person to do it. So I think that fight's very interesting, you know, and it's one that I think I'm capable of winning as well. You know, I don't think it would be a massive upset if I won that fight. You know, obviously it would be a little bit of an upset in terms of the wider public, but in my eyes, I don't think it would be.
What do you think about Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter? It looks like it's one of Terrence Crawford's. What do you think about Terrence Crawford versus?
Yeah, I want to show you. Real quick, brother.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Good to see you, bro.
They're definitely at 147 on the 20th of November here in Las Vegas. Tell me about that fight. How do you break that one down?
Yeah, again, that's a fantastic fight as well for fans, you know, and for myself as well, you know. Porter is an absolutely torrid night for anybody, you know, with his style. Very crude, he'll hit you anywhere, his relentless pressure is come forward, put it on you, sit on your chest and just hit you wherever you are. He'll just fucking hit you wherever you are. So it is a very tough night for anybody, you know. So I believe there's going to be sticky moments in that fight, and Sean Porter will have a lot of success. But I think in the end, the boxing brains and the boxing IQ will come through in the end, and I think Crawford will probably come out on top at the end of that fight, I would imagine. But you know, it's a massive fight, and so you don't know how it will go, you know. But anything can happen in boxing, so it's a really interesting fight. But if I was a betting man, I'd probably put my money on Crawford to come out with points victory.
So naturally, we've got a few big fights coming up here. Naturally, we're all in town for Canelo versus Caleb Plant. How do you see these two going down? What do you see going on tonight?
That's a great fight as well. You know, I think if anyone's got the ability to beat and upset Canelo, I think it's Caleb Plant. with his movement and his boxing ability and the way he moves, his slickness, uses his feet work very well, which I've seen Canelo have a little bit of trouble with in the past, getting a little bit frustrated at times with people that can sort of box and move a little bit. So I think Caleb Plant has the ability to do that, and I think early doors and the first half of the fight he will make it very tricky for Canelo, you know, but I think Canelo will push on, he'll find a way to win, and I think he'll get the points in the end. I think he'll get the points decision, but I wouldn't be overly surprised if Caleb Plant gets the decision, if he outboxes him.
So you don't see most people in town this weekend and earlier have been saying that they think Canelo is going to put Caleb Plant out and knock him out somewhere in the middle rounds. You don't agree with that, do you?
Possibly, but you know, possibly, but you never know. I think it's going to be a point victory. I would say. Canelo, but.
So, good seeing you, man. Yeah, nice to see you. No problems. No problems today, man. You know, we had a nice, smooth press conference today. Good energy, good vibes, man. So, I mean, our opponent didn't even show up, so it's all good, man. You know, we here to just promote the fight, get the energy going, get everybody, you know, give them a rundown of what we've been doing the last couple months, preparing, and you know what I mean? Just get the world ready.
Now, obviously, that whole Primal Willie situation, things all worked out.
Yeah, things all worked out. Actually, it's crazy. I actually talked to some of Tyron's people, so that whole thing is squashed, man. Mama Woodley, you know, it's all love. So I didn't get the chance to talk to her after the fight, but we were trying to link. People were trying to get us together after the fight. It was just too crowded. But she got the message. I got the message. So it's all love, man. Shout out to Mama Woodley, man. You know what I mean?
You know, no chance that you guys ever kind of. I don't know. I know some of the after the fight, some of the team members, like the residents, that he kind of came across.
Yeah. You know, it was a lot of energy going into that week, man. It was the intensity, the emotions, everything was just at an all-time high. You know what I mean? So with Tyron coming over to boxing, with us coming and fighting an ex-world champion, you know what I mean? It was crazy, man. So I'm glad we was able to get the job done, and you know we still here. We getting ready for another big event. So you know it's exciting, man. It's the business of a lot of emotions. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a roller coaster ride. You know what I mean?
You're with Jake with all these fights. Is there something a little different you see coming in this fight since he's fighting like what they say is a
real boxer? Yeah.
Undefeated, you know, big, his size. You know.
I mean, at the end of the day, we treating it like every other fight. You know what I mean? If it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? So we got the same formula. Obviously, we in a new kitchen. You know what I mean? We're in Puerto Rico now. The humidity, the weather, everything's kind of playing a role in us getting our conditioning right, and you know what I'm saying, same, like I said, same shit, same recipe. You know what I mean? A couple new additions, couple new tweaks, but man, we looking seasoned and ready to go.
My man, Coach D was up there. What was that like?
Yeah, Coach D. I mean, Drewski's always a good friend of Jake, good friend of the team. He always come to all the fights. If y'all ain't noticed, so you know, we had to throw a little twist in there. Coach D, man, you heard what he said, man. Ain't nobody fucking with the kid but God. The white boy can fight. Yeah, man. Shout out to the fans. I mean, obviously, shout out to everybody, the Jake Paulers, the team Problem Child people. You know, we had a couple guys here today, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Following us city to city and just supporting the team, supporting the movement, and you know what I mean, just rocking with us no matter what. Of course, we're gonna have the haters. Of course, we're gonna have the people that don't want to see us lose. But at the end of the day, appreciate all the good people, all the good energy that just know it's just a group of kids being themselves and created a new wave, and shit, we at the top of the food chain now, you know what I mean? So we set the rules, we set the bar, so we set the standards. So yeah.
I see you at the fight.
Appreciate you, bro. Always, bro. Forever.
Alright. That's what I think of it, to be fair.
Tyrone fight. Yo, Brandon, counter. You're gonna let it hit you right in the sword. Yeah, knock me out, so I'll have to work today. first to grab it and then
I need this shit.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's rock it up. Show some love, you know. Always for the hype, baby. Always for the hype. You know, Mr. Jalen Love himself. How's it going, man?
Good, bro. Just chilling, one day at a time.
You know, this was a very peaceful press conference. Obviously, I thought that, you know, the opponent wasn't able to be here. And
Yeah. Nah, Sugar Hill, you gonna get that all the time, man. That's where we learned it from. You know, he was obviously guys that led us up from Detroit, Crunk Boxing Gym. Sugar Hill was like a father to us. We were just chatting. He was like, yo, I was like, damn, Sugar, when you gonna get some kids? He's like, yo, you were my kid. Y'all were my kid. So that's how you look at it, bro. It's you know what I mean? It's super dope to see my boy still here. My man, what's good, champ? Yeah. Right. To see my boy still here and doing his thing, obviously Tyson Fury and now Tommy Fury.
Now, you guys got a new member of the team, Coach D.
Coach D, bro.
Can we talk about the accolades, a little bit of Coach D?
I mean, listen, man, he comes back from Tyson's time, man. He brings a different energy to the game. You know, his knowledge, bro. You know, it's like one day he wakes up, we think we got him beat, and he has us beat. He's 3 and 4 steps ahead of us all the time. I think he is the answer to getting this victory right here, Coach D for sure.
And seeing the fact that people say this is his biggest test because he's an undefeated boxer, right?
Yeah.
Coming from the Tudor leagues or you know, some of the guys and related to the Fury bloodline.
Yeah.
Would you say that you guys have to change a little bit different things and prepare for a fighter like Tommy, or are you just the same old?
Man, we're gonna stick to what's working. You know, obviously sharpen up, but at the end of the day, man, Tommy, there's only one Tyson Fury. We're fighting Tommy Fury.
And of course, you know, this fight's going to be in Tampa Bay. You know, the Cleveland was an excellent turnabout, stuff like that.
Yeah.
How excited you guys to come down in Florida and show what's going on?
We're excited to be in Florida, brother. Trust me. You know what I mean? We fought in Atlanta, and it was cool. We loved it. Hey, man, that was dope. But now we're kicking it off, you know what I mean? Kicking it off to Tampa. You know, shout out to them Buccaneers, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So with all these extra people like Sugar and Fury going on that camp, does that add a little bit more concern to the camp that, you know, getting so much prestige?
It adds more fire because at the end of the day, I want to beat my coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? We want to beat our coach. You know, we want to be able to out-coach, you know what I'm saying, them on their side. But it's all love and fun, bro. At the end of the day, Sugar Hill is a fucking mastermind in what he does. You know what I mean? I know that Tommy is gonna be and learn some different shit. And coming from that Crunk Detroit background, Sugar Hill gonna put some sauce on some shit. And we looking forward to seeing both of the guys come out and display their talent.
I know he's kind of criticized Jake for being a YouTuber and things like that, but seeing that he added those people, do you see that now he's a little more concerned? Is it just all an act, like kind of saying, we're just a YouTuber, but I'm gonna go get Sugar, I'm gonna get Tyson?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they see something to go get the best motherfucker out there. So they definitely see something, and they know what changes they need to make or what they need to, you know, work on. So hell yeah, Sugar Hill is, like I said, he's the answer. Sugar Hill's the answer to a lot of people's questions.
How many more fights do you think Jake needs before he can get that Canelo fight?
It takes time. We're going to take it one fight at a time. At the end of the day, we just fighting Tommy Fury now. We ain't going to fight Canelo next. You know what I mean? We're just going to keep it moving.
And just before I let you go, of course, if there was one thing that you see that Jake could potentially do better than Canelo, right? That you see, what would it be?
Marketing.
Ooh.
Marketing. Ooh. Marketing. That kid's a genius at marketing. You know what I mean? He knows how to stir up the pot, get eyeballs viewing. And at the end of the day, you can't hate on them. That's what the motherfucker good at. For sure.
Predictions for the Canelo Plant fight since you're
Oh man, shout out to Canelo, shout out to Caleb Plant. This is gonna be a dope event, man. I love Caleb Plant, man. His whole story, his upbringing, man. I love to see him on the stage. I want him to win. No matter what I want, they both gotta fight. Canelo's a hell of a fucking fighter, bro. And I'm just willing, I'm gonna be a fan and watch Caleb do what he does and watch Canelo do what he does and put on for the sport of boxing.
Social media, any last message to the fans?
Yeah, man. Shout out to all the people that support me and support boxing, period, man. And the new eyeballs. Shout out to the young kids, man. We appreciate you. Y'all can hit me up. I get so many messages from the kids. They're super dope. And I'm like, I love kids. So yeah, for sure. Like, I love the kids. So hit me up. I respond. It's love.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, man.
You as well, brother.
Always love with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, cool. So Sean got BJ and you got Jalen, you got Logan Paul stuff.
I forced the issue.
Yep, we'll start putting stuff up. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I don't think there's nobody else. And I think that's the problem block. Yep. So little quick review of the problem pot. So, alright y'all, that's it. We're gonna be signing out. Appreciate you guys as always. Stay locked on FightHype. We're gonna have a lot more stuff coming up with the Canelo Plant fight tonight. So keep locked in as always. Thank you so much.